Welcome back guys to another G35 video. So before we get onto the install, I just want to say that the giveaway winner was already announced for the Simplistic Garage throttle body kit. There was a lot of people that entered and I didn't expect that many people entering, but the winner was already announced. As I was recording this video right now, he did send me an Instagram DM of his package being at his house already, so that's good to hear. I definitely want to do more giveaways for you guys, so leave a comment down below of any ideas you guys have for any giveaways. I could potentially give away a G35 in the future, who knows? Leave a comment down below any ideas you guys may have and I'll make sure to reply. And I also definitely want to give you guys a thank you for all the support I've gotten recently. It's absolutely insane how I'm in a position to be able to do a giveaway, especially with the channel being so small and already being able to do a giveaway for you guys. It's definitely sick. I would have never thought that I'd be in this position to be able to do giveaways for you guys. So thank you to everybody who subscribed, and if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe right now. I'm trying to hit 5,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of the year. That'd be freaking sick. So go ahead and subscribe and let's get started with the install. So we are going to be doing a couple things on G35 today. One of the things that we're going to be doing is a clear bra for your headlights. As many of you guys know, these headlights end up yellowing pretty fast. Even though these are Spec Ds, it's still the same thing. They are going to be yellowing up pretty fast. So what the clear bra does, it essentially goes over your headlights and protects it from all the UV rays and from yellowing. And if for whatever reason the clear bra does end up yellowing, then you can just go ahead and replace the clear bra and not have to replace the lens, or go ahead and try to buff it out and try to make it look nice again. I definitely recommend checking this product out so that you can take care of your Spec Ds. A lot of people run these, so definitely make sure you protect these and have them lasting a long time. Aside from that, we are going to be installing a couple hoses. So this one is the driver's side PCV hose. I ended up using a different type of hose for the driver's side PCV hose. And I just don't like that it ends up bending and it ends up making a kink on the hose. So I definitely want to make sure that I'm getting proper flow from this hose. So I picked up a PCV hose from Z1 Motorsports. So this is going to be a replacement for that. Another hose that I picked up from Z1 Motorsports is the coolant overflow hose. That hose is this one right here that ends up going to the overflow tank. So that is what we're going to be putting on as well. So another thing I ended up picking up is another Z1 Motorsports hose, and this one is going to be for the intake. So I don't like this type of hose. It just looks really bad in my opinion, and I also want to be able to have matching hoses. So I'm going to be replacing this one and that one as well, so that way they can be matching, and it also will give a bit of angle since this hose does have a little bump. It helps out with giving a little bit of angle and a little bit of play on the hose itself, so we'll be able to get it to fit right. The last thing I ended up picking up is a Z1 Motorsports radiator cap. So this is going to raise our boiling point, and it also is going to help out with cooling on the coolant system. It does put a little bit more strain, so if you do have a stock coolant system and you haven't replaced anything, I'd definitely be worried about this. This is going to be what's going to tie all the cooling upgrades together, and it'll just be a really good mod to have. I wouldn't say these mods are particularly crazy at all. They're just kind of more maintenance stuff that I wanted to do and make sure I have everything good. First thing that we're going to do is go ahead and take off the intake so we can go ahead and access the driver's side PCV hose, and that way we can also take off the existing hoses. Alright guys, so here we have the old PCV hose that was on the driver's side bank. This hose ends up connecting to the intake, so that way you can go ahead and recirculate everything that is in the crankcase. I'm going to be installing this because this ends up kinking. I shouldn't have thrown away the old one, but I did pick this new one up, so let me go ahead and install it. So along with the hoses, we are going to be using these type of couplers. The benefit from these is that they are going to be able to give a little bit more of an angle. These can go up to like 20 degrees extra angle with this bump. It helps out with that. The downside is I can't run one of them because the throttle body is bigger than stock, and I forgot to make up for that by buying a 3.5 inch instead of a 3 inch. Instead of having this accordion looking thing, I'll be able to just have a nice silicone one to go along with the whole rest of the intake. A quick little side note guys, if you're looking into getting some tools for your car, for your G35, whatnot, I recommend buying yourself an impact. Please, for the love of God, buy yourself an impact. It's going to help you so much with making everything quicker. This has saved me so many headaches, from taking off lug nuts to taking off stubborn bolts all over this car. I definitely recommend picking yourself up an impact if you don't have one already. Trust me on this, you're going to love it. Once you go ahead and pick one up, you'll never want to use a ratchet ever again. Everything's put back together now, guys. So like I said, I had to only use this coupler. I couldn't use it on the other side just because of the throttle body. And then you can also see the PCV hose, and it's not kinked. I already made sure, so we're good to go on that. Now we're gonna go ahead and just replace the radiator cap. The radiator cap is installed, quick, simple, easy, and it's also inexpensive. So I'm looking forward to seeing if I notice any differences. Once I install the gauge as well, I'll be able to see the temps and everything. So with this track build, I made sure that I got cooling taken care of. So I ended up getting the coil rad radiator, I got the hoses, I got the radiator cap. I want to make sure that I don't skip out on that, just so I don't have any problems on the track. Not only that, I ended up installing that oil cooler, and it's a $100 oil cooler, and it's been working great so far. I have the oil temp gauge, and it hasn't gone over like 205 max. It usually stays around the 180s, 190s at most. I really like that oil cooler kit. So far in the cooling aspect, I think the car is basically as good as it can get. Also on a differential, when I did my diff bushings, I ended up upgrading a differential as well. I have the 370Z Nismo differential in the back, and that also has a finned cover, so that's going to help out with cooling. In theory, everything is good powertrain wise. I don't really have to worry about much anymore. Now that I have all the cooling done, I really can feel a lot more confident with driving this car on the hot summer days. I hope you guys are enjoying the laid back vibe in this video. I'm kind of talking a little bit more, not really working on the car as much. I just really wanted to catch you guys up on everything that's going on with the G35. I really don't talk to you guys all that often with giving you guys updates or what my mindset is on the project that I'm doing. So leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about these types of videos. It definitely helps me out knowing what I can bring to you guys. So now we're gonna go ahead and tackle on the headlights and go ahead and install the clear bra. Before we do that though, I'm gonna go ahead and polish this a bit just because there's a couple swirl marks, and I want to make sure this is like perfect before I go ahead and put the clear bra. I'm gonna go ahead and do that right before that, then we'll come back to the clear bra. Oh my goodness, guys, this took forever. I ended up completing one side, and it took forever because I couldn't get the damn bubbles out of here. So a lot of it is just moisture that's trapped in. It's gonna go away once it hits the sun. I shouldn't be too worried on that. I can compare this to wrapping something on your car. You have to put some heat, stretch it out a little bit. Since this is a curved surface, it's pretty hard to wrap this and make it look nice. So I ended up using some heat because this side was standing up, so this is good now. Like I said, most of this is moisture. There's a couple little air bubbles that I have, a couple little water bubbles as well, but for the most part, this is gonna come out great. They do say after a couple days, if these don't go away, I can go ahead and just puncture them and they'll just come out. The good thing about this is it's self-healing, so then eventually it will go ahead and cover up the holes I make. So this is how it looks. It obviously doesn't look perfect, and that's because it needs to bake in the sun, so I can go ahead and get a lot of this moisture out of there. One of the things they tell you is to make sure that it doesn't lift. I made sure I went around with the heat gun just to make sure that none of this goes up and then lifts away. So this is the driver's side done, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to the other side and finish it up and then show you guys a little time lapse. Alright guys, so this side is done now. So this took a lot less time than the other side. I knew what I needed to do, and this one came out with a lot less bubbles, and it was a lot easier to wrap the whole headlight in comparison to the other side. So now that I installed it on both of the headlights, I'm gonna be waiting for a couple days to see if they clear up and how they turn out. They obviously look pretty hazy, and it makes it look worse than if I just left them alone, but this is gonna protect them. This is the brand I ended up going with, so you guys can go ahead and see if they have pre-cuts for your car, because it did have pre-cuts for a G35, so it makes it a lot easier to wrap this once it's just a pre-cut instead of having to cut it all yourself. These headlights were pretty expensive, and I definitely don't want to have to go ahead and buy another set or go ahead and try to repair the lens. So this is a good way to protect your investment, especially because these are not cheap and they're usually sold out, so even if I wanted to buy one, it's pretty hard to find them. So there you guys have it. I installed a couple miscellaneous things on the G35, just a couple maintenance items that I wanted to make sure were good. I want to make this video a little more personable, just talk a little bit more to you guys, so I hope you guys enjoy that. Leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you're new around here. Plenty of G35 content. I say this like every single video, but with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.